Hello one and all, and welcome back to Ice Queendom discussion. I'm your only mate, and with me, as always, is
Max with your trades. Hey, hello. This is a real good episode. We should talk about it, I think.
Yeah, okay, so since we started doing these, this is the episode I've been really excited to talk about. We'll get to why soon.
I can't imagine why you might be interested in this one. We shall see in due time.
Anyway, for now, Yang's looking at the tree that she knocked over, and you pointed something out.
It looks like it's got a face, and it's winking at her.
Yeah, it really does.
I don't know why. For off screen, I had to stare at this picture for a long time, and it slowly formed in my mind. It's like there's a mustache and there's a little eye, and he's like, I wink at you, Yang. And then Yang has to turn down the advantages of a tree stump.
Yeah, it's like sad day for that stump.
Yeah, well, probably not the first or last, regardless of that fact. Yeah, anyway, the point is, the tree that Yang knocked over is still knocked over, which is interesting because everything else gets reset in the dream. So why did that stick around?
I think it was like a whole, we've changed the dream, already sort of thing.
Yeah, I understand why it's there. It's basically there to, establish the fact that, yes, we can make permanent changes to the dreams by doing things, but,
they can change the dreams.
It had to be significant.
They can change the dreams by their actions, but I think, the coins that Shion gave them, totally separate.
Okay. And, alright, that makes sense, because destroying the tree is one of the only things they actually did physically to the world. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
That lines up.
Also, I'm just realizing, they said, they're back to square one in the last episode. But I don't think we even talked about just how much of a, just head start they had the second time.
They really did.
Because they already had Ruby's doors when she went in alone. And then everything they were able to do on top of that, so... Yeah, this isn't really starting from square one for the girls. This is, -5.
Yeah, even if they didn't have any of that stuff, I mean, just the fact that they've been here before puts them at a massive advantage, and they already know certain events that are going to happen.
Yeah.
They have more than enough going for them to feel more confident to go about this.
They also have plans.
They have plans. And one of those plans involves a zombie arm!
Yeah, first of all they ask, where's Jean? Hand reaches out and grabs Ruby by the ankle, so they're just like, oh my god, zombie! And they stomp the crap out of it. Okay, it's Jean, and they just pull him out from the snow, but wouldn't my version have been funny?
It would have been funny if their immediate reaction look, to be completely fair, I find it kind of strange that John was literally under all that snow to begin with. And the fact that he stuck down there as long as he had without air while they were talking is interesting. Asks a few questions I'm never going to get an answer for. But the point is, if that arm shot out of the ground like that and you're all armed with weaponry, I feel like at least one of them would have taken a shot.
Oh god, that's even worse than my idea.
I know, it's like, ah!
I was just thinking they stomp his hand, but it's just like... I wasn't thinking, shoot it!
Well, I mean, that's what you do with a zombie.
Yeah. Oh god.
Anyway, they give Jean the old heave-ho, and he has a really awesome sword that we're not going to get to see a lot of.
For now.
Oh, it comes back? Baller!
I gotta say, I really appreciate Jean for this. Does not react at all to the fact that Blake's a Faunus.
Oh yeah, he doesn't! Oh man.
Yeah, because by this point, Team Juniper, I don't think they should know.
They shouldn't. No. I think this is even before. Yeah, this is before this is before the Vital tournament. I think it might even be before the Roman mech fight. So
actually, well, yeah, it is. But this is all before Volume 2.
Right. So then they definitely would have no way of knowing.
And in the second episode of Volume 2, Jean brings up he says to Weiss, you already told us that Blake is Pure stops him and says, "Fun-loving person who we all admire."
Indeed. So, but yeah, given the amount of time, I feel like they probably wouldn't have it at this point. I want to say that it's because Jean is an open-minded and good person, but it's much more likely that they just didn't realize that when they put this scene together.
Possibly. Like,
I choose to believe the more optimistic approach to it.
yeah. Also, the timeline in RWBY, like, as much as I love this show, the timeline is a bit weird in places.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Like, it's not exactly clear, like, when events happen, like, how much time passes, like...
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
So, I just have to throw this out there. I'm mildly disappointed in how basic Dream Jean's outfit is. It's... I mean, we quickly realize it's literally just a cape. He doesn't even get to keep it for too terribly long. Everyone else gets a whole new outfit, but not Jean.
Well, he gets something later.
Okay. Either way, they've all got 3 coins.
Yeah.
So, they really better not mess that up.
Sorry, I just saw this shot of, when Ruby's saying, "No, let's use them properly," and we just see, Blake's in her hand. Because of her paws, I thought she had, like, a whole bunch.
You're right. The little toe bean accents on her gloves make it look like there's a bunch of beans. That's adorable.
But, well, it's also possible those are just, hands.
It could be, but I'm gonna go off the assumption they're gloves. Otherwise, it really didn't make any sense that Blake wouldn't react to having, you know, cat hands.
Yeah, no one reacts to that.
Yeah, so they have to be gloves. I don't want them to be gloves. I like the idea of them being cat hands, but that's the sensible and realistic, assumption to make.
I also don't want to dwell on it too much because I don't want to question just how much of Blake is cat in the dream world.
I mean, assuming the fact, just the idea that those gloves are in fact actually her hands and not gloves, then I would assume, bare minimum, it's the cat ears, the tail, the hands, and the feet. That's my best guess.
Yeah, well, let's just draw the line at just that.
I don't want to know where you're going with that. Anyway, Ruby is snowboarding?
Yeah, Ruby's snowboarding, Blake is on the back of Bumblebee with Yang. It's cute. And Jean is sliding with his shield.
He's doing his best. He is pulling a Breath of the Wild, and he is not used to the physics. But he's okay. And they come across the big old spaghetti sign.
Yeah, and Jean has no idea what it means either.
Yeah, I do. I found, I was kind of interested, honestly, because when the scene came up, it was like, and they just straight up asked him, it was like, "Do you know what it means?" He looks at it, he thinks about it, and this goes nowhere, but for a moment I thought, I was like, I think I might know what this is. Like, really? It would have been interesting if he somehow came up with something. Anyway, it's time for a freaking train!
Well, before that, Jean tries to lift his sword up, and
yeah,
it's really heavy.
It's really heavy, but hey, give him credit. He can hold it up. Also, no joke, that's literally me attempting to wield my replica of Mirror Master. So, big mood, John. Big mood. Swords are heavy, man.
How do you think Guts feels?
Yeah, fair. But hey, he trained for that. You got that's
true.
The thing. If I did more arm exercises, I'm sure it would be a lot easier, but I don't.
Anyway, Ruby forgets that Crescent Rose is the wrong way around again.
And it's adorable.
Huh.
They do a very good job of making Ruby adorable in this.
They really do. Anyway,
it's just like, oh.
Train fight.
Train 5, they jump down on the train. John does his best.
I've also just noticed, like, the last time we saw this, weren't the Atlesian Knights, black?
I cannot with confidence say one way or the other.
I'm
gonna be perfectly honest, I had not paid close enough attention to those particular robots to be able to tell you.
I'm looking that up right now.
Alright then, And I mean, I have to stall for time. Alright, so the girls, they jumped in the train and they do themselves a big combat. John also tries to do pretty cool styles, but he can't really do it because he's not too good at this, you see. But he does land on the...
I've just found him. They were.
And so they've changed colors.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was on purpose or a mistake, but either way, it seems to have happened.
Maybe that's just like a subtle, like, yeah, the dream has been changing, like, because of the girl's actions.
You know what? That's my headcanon. I'll accept it. When John lands on the train, it causes a massive old shockwave thing. That was pretty neat.
Keep that in mind.
Oh boy! I shall keep that in mind. Anyway, it's stuck and he can't get it out, and he loses his cape.
So I'm going through the fight, and when Blake just cleaves that dude in half.
Yeah, she do.
I mean, it's a dream grim white fang guy, so.
Also, okay, so I was right. During the after Jean loses his cape, R.I.P. You see Yang fighting the white fang guy, and that's just a straight up blood spurt.
Yep.
And I'm not used to seeing blood in RWBY, honestly. It's not very common. It's usually only during, like, the most serious of moments. So just seeing it kind of casually just shoot out of somebody is like, whoa.
Yeah, that's
That's why I reacted so strongly when it happened to RWBY in the other episode, when blood shot out of her hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I'm so conditioned to only go like, oh no, like blood, that's a serious thing in RWBY, because, you know, that usually means auras are depleted and serious injuries are happening. But like, in this instance, just, you know, like, whoa!
By the way, we mentioned Jean losing his cape.
Yeah. Should I remember that too?
Yes, because I'm gonna have a whole thing about that.
Oh my god, the cape comes back. Alright.
You'll see.
I am intrigued, to say the minimum.
Like, I'm both... You know what, you'll see. You'll see.
Okay, yeah, don't spoil it. I don't know, I don't care. I don't want to know if it's a good thing, a bad thing, a stupid thing, or a funny thing. I'll see when it's time.
Alright.
Yang and Blake have a neat little back-to-back moment, so that's
I was about to comment on that.
Yeah, I figured you were, but I wanted to make sure that you did. Blake is pondering the oddness of protecting a Schnee Dust Company train. Yang can't hear her because they're on a train and it's very loud.
Team RWBY fight on trains a lot.
They do.
Especially Blake.
But did you know, in real-world physics, if you rode on the top of a train like that, and it was going that damn fast, good luck actually maintaining a conversation.
Yeah, but they're able to do that later.
I know, but I'm just saying. Anime logic. It helps things out.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I didn't catch this before. The spaghetti sign. It unspaghettifies a little.
Oh, yeah.
That's symbolism! I like that. Because Weiss is getting slightly less tangled. That's delightful. That's delightful. Anyway, it looks like we're about to have the exact same Weiss, Shadow Weiss scene yet again. But there's a twist, because there is no crashed train, you see.
Yep, one's finally got through.
Which really seems to confuse her? It's like, wait. No, that doesn't make any sense at all? And the rest of the dream is all like, roll with it, come on, go with it. It's like, no, that's not normal.
Okay, sorry, I've just got back to the scene where we cut back to the train. We did not comment on this at all.
After the Weiss scene?
Like...
Oh, there it is. Sorry.
When they kill, like, the White Fang in this dream world, they disappear almost exactly like shadows in Persona.
Oh my god, they actually do.
I mean, they also dissipate like Grimm do, so...
I guess, but I don't know. Given all the parallels, at some point I gotta feel like some of this is intentional.
Like, Ice Queendom is RWBY Persona!
It's not like Persona isn't an extraordinarily niche franchise to find referenced in things, I feel. At least that's what I'm saying. At least some of this has gotta be on purpose.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the train's coming in, And Weiss needs to open the door, but she's still a little too confused about all the goings-on, so she doesn't do it, even though literally everyone in the dream is all like, yo, just open the damn door, it's your duty and whatever.
Yeah, and there's a little something else that makes her confused.
What would that be?
Well, okay, I'm just letting the scene play out, and, oh, hi, Jacques.
Yeah, he's always been there. Him and his big-ass head.
Shadow Weiss is angry. Go back to the guy, to the girl saying the gate isn't opening.
Yes, I'm just waiting.
I like that. Sorry. The gate's not opening. Jean's just like, is that a bad thing?
It sure is, buddy.
Yes!
It sure is.
The gate's not opening and we're heading towards it. Is that bad?
That is an issue. But basically, Ruby and the whole group basically start asking Weiss to open up, which you see is a clever bit of symbolism. Because yes, they're asking her to open up their gate, but is that all they're asking? No, they're asking her to open up emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be her friend, and they want to help her, and she needs to put some trust in them. But will she? Yes, at least a little bit. She does, in fact, open up that door. Although, hang on, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that the pendulum on the clock, reminds me of Chrono Trigger, and that made me smile. Anyway,
speaking of things that make us smile,
yes.
So we get this like little scene. There's like a split screen of Ruby, then Jean, then Yang, just telling Weiss to open up. And then we get one solely dedicated to Blake. That makes me smile.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you get to see your waifu in big screen. But also because Blake herself, she wants to be Weiss's friend. She wants her to open up and let her in. Which makes the fact that they eventually do manage to get through all of this stuff together and become like the ultimate sisterhood so much more emotionally satisfying to me. Like, it really does help a lot knowing how the story goes, and just knowing that all these gals are just gonna freaking adore each other by the end of this whole thing. You love these things. You do. But yeah, so Weiss is willing to open it up, and not just open up the gate. She starts bending literally all of Weisselvania over here, just all over the place to let them in, basically into, like, I want to say roughly the dead center of the whole complex. At least close.
Yeah, and Whitley's like, what's happening? Oh god!
Yeah, I know! It's funny because the Whitley bat did not understand. He was not ready for that. Yo, bats don't, not bats, but trains don't go through here. This one do.
And now Shadow Weiss sees the rest of the team and Jean are on the train. She's like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, I was like, I'm confused for several reasons. Like, I have lived through this situation so many times, and this is a new one on me.
Man, the track's just like forming as the train is going. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a really neat effect. I like it. Honestly, when the train tracks, it looked like they were making a ramp, and I thought the whole train was gonna like go flying.
Well, it was gonna do like a stunt jump, like in GTA 5 or something.
Yes, I actually thought that that's where we were going with this. It's not, sadly. It just continues to build up into a good stopping location. But still, man, that would have been really cool.
That would have been awesome. Anyway, looks like it's their stop, and it's a carnival.
It is a carnival. It's a big old circus type thing, which seems like an odd thing for Weiss to have in her little utopia land.
Well, she does love festivals.
That's true, she do. It would also explain why it's all so secret, because, she usually tries to hide such things. I wonder if that's going to come up in any way in a little bit. Probably not. Anywho, they do be going Big Nicholas.
Big Nicholas. Big Nicholas.
They just kind of stare like, yo, what the hell them robots always going on about?
Yeah. Now, if anyone's wondering, how did they get from the train to that rooftop in such a short amount of time?
How did they?
Parkour. That's how.
I know. I feel like at this point you should just kind of assume that RWBY characters are mad-ass mobile. Like, the only one I have any questioning on is Sean, but I don't know. We'll just assume that Blake swung him up there.
I mean, or Yang threw him.
Either or, they both got the arm strength for it. Clearly,
yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta yeet the Jean. RWBY decides.
I want to see that now. Just like one of them grabs Jean by the back and just yeet.
Get out of here, you. So RWBY decides it's time to start implementing her sneaky plan, but Jean's got himself one hell of a case of the sniffles.
Yeah. By the way, notice that he just doesn't have the sword.
I do. I assume it was, it was my impression and assumption that when he landed and got it stuck in the train, he left it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'm wrong? I don't know.
No, it's still there. It's still there.
Okay, it's like you've clearly set up that apparently the sword and cape are going to come back in some manner. I don't know how, but I am intrigued.
Okay, look, a sword like that, they're not gonna give him something like that and then just have it be like a throwaway thing.
True.
That'd be lame.
I did find it interesting that I guess Weiss's cognition gave him such a freaking amazing looking sword, though. Found that interesting at the very least.
Yeah.
Shadow Weiss is confused. Why did Blake defend it from the train from the White Fang? And John too? What the hell's going on? Of course, Jacques is a broken-ass record.
Weiss just like, what is today?
I know! She tries to think things through, but she's got herself a bit of an idea. The Whitley Bat comes in and starts trying to warn her of some things. And I found it, like, obscenely bizarre just how, like, desperate the Whitley Bat was trying to spin this into Blake being evil.
I want to see bad things happen to the Whitley Bat.
I know. But he, like, literally flies in and he's like, Blake kidnapped RWBY, Yang, and Jean. And I'm like, clearly she hasn't if you have eyes. Like, they are very clearly working together by any metric, so I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is like the dream world, things are weird. And things are gonna get weirder.
I don't believe you, and I'm sure I won't be proven wrong. And then the Shadow of Willow laughs again, alcoholically. Anyway, her dream's kinda browbeating her into doing the bad stuff, which sucks. Because Shadow Weiss really looked like she was kinda starting to come around a little bit, at least start questioning things more. But then pretty much all of the assets and facilities of the dream are like, no, you need to be this way specifically. Yeah, again, there's symbolism in all that, I feel.
And she ends the first half of this episode by saying that Blake will be forced to understand.
I don't like that.
Nor do I.
She ought to be napping, though.
Oh, yeah.
And so be everyone else.
Well, except the rest of Juniper.
Yeah, they just be staring.
Yeah, they're worried about Jean. And the rest of Team RWBY, of course, but like...
Yeah, well, look, they feel more confident. It's not... It feels like it's an insult, but it's not an insult for them to be worried about Jean. They obviously love and respect the guy and want him to be all that he can be, but at the same time, they're also, aware that he's not the greatest at this yet.
He'll get there.
He will. He definitely improves so dang much by the few volumes later. I do find some humor in the smash cut between Pyrrha showing steadfast confidence in him, immediately cutting to him just kind of limping into the circus and whining.
Yeah, because he can't breathe through his nose. You know what? That's a mood from me as well.
You got yourself some allergies, my guy?
Hay fever and potentially dogs.
Dang.
Yeah, like, there's a certain time of year where it's just like, no, my nose is just awful.
That's unfortunate, and I'm sorry.
I can't breathe through it or anything, and... Well, I don't know 100% if I'm allergic to dogs. Anytime I interact with my aunt's Labrador, I just suffer for like a day and a half.
That's not good.
So,
Alright, yeah.
signs are there.
Yes, anywho. John bumps into one of them there robots, and the robots is all like, nah, he cool, and wanders off. And John makes himself a big ol' heckin' sneeze. Imagine being allergic to robots.
I would have found it funny if when Sean's just like nervously staring at the robot, he just goes, Big Nicholas?
That would have been funny.
And the robot's just like, just does its salute, Big Nicholas! Then walks off.
Ed 209 looking ass. Like, that would have been funny. I do appreciate Yang's smug face here.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. He just got himself some sniffles. John explores the Weiss circus thing and sees a creepy ass door again.
Yep. Hi, Dopey Klein.
So, this is the silly jail, and I guess it moved to the circus?
I think there's meant to be multiple silly jails.
Then why is King Juniper in this one?
Oh yeah, good point.
So I can only assume that it moved with the positioning or something? I'm not 100% sure on the logistics of it. When it happened, I felt like I needed to at least bring it up. I mean, that's the only explanation I could think of. It had to have just moved when everything else did, I guess. Regardless, John finds the silly jail, and he does himself a cunning plan.
Yeah. I love his line. I think I just got insulted by a talking door.
Mostly because he did. And the most important thing about all of this is that Dreamren has a really cool hat. So, yeah, Jean basically, he dupes the door, saying, hey, open up, gotta get in there, I'm a silly, right? And you can't really argue with that logic, this door. So he lets him in. And John does pretty much one of the most hilariously simple things to get out of the situation I can imagine.
Yeah, he just uses his shield to just block the door.
And there's literally nothing that the door can do about it. He's like literally just, I can't shut myself. Yo, what up with that? Like, apparently it can't even look slightly to the corner and notice that there's something in the door jam? I don't know. I guess it is dopey, but still.
Yeah. Okay. So, the inside of the silly jail, now it's just a carnival. There's all kinds of snacks, all kinds of booths.
Looks like a real fun time, honestly.
Yeah.
There's puppet corn. I don't normally like bananas, but for some reason, the way they drew those candy-covered... Like, I don't like candy or bananas, but that shot of the banana stall, for some reason, is incredibly appealing to me. Hey,
anime.
Anime food. Who'da thunk it, man? Who'da thunk it? Anyway, Jean is forced to speak to his meowing friends, and they give him winter gear. Which I guess fell off his dream self when he teleported. Maybe.
Okay, so I just want to... I think people have commented on this, like, when the sub was out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm at 1422.
Yeah.
Just look at Pura.
I am looking at Pura. Respectfully. What am I supposed to be noticing exactly, though?
People pointed out just...
Whoa!
You see it?
Okay. Is it the butt?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Butt, okay, yeah, okay. Look, both parts of, okay, I'll just say, both parts of Pyrrha's anatomy seem, redonkulous.
Yeah.
I did not notice that on my first viewing.
I only noticed that because I saw people tweet about it. It was just like, damn, go. Like,
I want to say maybe at least some of that is the pose. She is standing in a very specific way that kind of shoots them both out a bit, but like, whoa, okay. It really contrasts with Nora's posture.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay. So I did not notice that, but thank you. I'm glad that that's recorded and put on YouTube forever. Anyway, John's nose is all good, and Pyrrha holds John's hand.
Yeah, that's what I was arguing about.
I heard it's very cute.
Wait.
She brings him over to she brings him to another big spaghetti sign where
Only this is a tree.
It's true, it is a tree, but it is still spaghettified. And there's a relic in there, and it's yeller.
Yeah.
Which is symbolic of Yang, I assume, seeing as how we had the red one and everything. But it is interesting that John is the one who ends up picking it. Yellow is basically his color too.
Yeah, and yeah, interesting. We had a red. Now John's found a yellow, and we saw from Shadow Ice that there is a white.
What about the fourth one? I wonder if it's important.
I mean, I've already said it's a thing. Like, yeah, there is a black somewhere.
Yeah, obviously. This guy doesn't understand subtlety at all.
I mean, I said it in one of our previous discussions.
I know. I was being coy. It's you, I swear. Anyway, John yoinks it, and that freaks out Juniper a little bit.
Oh boy, this is the reason I was so excited for you to get to this episode. Like,
okay, so
this moment is all you. Have at it.
Okay, because I have permission. Okay, so after Jean removes the relic, what can only be charitably described as a Weiss-splosion occurs, as a small army of little girl Weisses just freaking come out of goddamn nowhere and run all over the damn place. And, okay. I'm not sure how young they're meant to be. I'm gonna assume maybe 6-ish or so.
I want to say at least less than 10.
Yeah, bare minimum. But they're running around and they're saying things like they want to go be free outside, that they love festivals, that they want to eat sweets, and they're just okay. Look. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Max, a few trades. You've established yourself as a bit of a Weiss fan here and there. You're so subtle about it, but we picked up on it, and good on you if you did. So clearly, you must think that this is pretty swell, right? Well, you might be surprised to learn that I absolutely love this scene so goddamn much. It's so great. They're so cute. And they're just running around, and they have these little toy Myrtenasters, the little plastic handles, and
I love the toy Myrtenasters.
And okay.
Why aren't those in the store yet?
Give me one. Oh my god. I will buy 2 if you do this. Anyway.
Now I just want to see you dual-wielding.
I'll do it! I won't be stopped. But to keep things sequential...
you know what? That could also be super appealing because, like... You know how they put some items in the store for specifically cosplay?
Yes.
Well, people who have kids, their kids can cosplay this Weiss. And if they put that Myrtenaster in there...
Wouldn't be that expensive a product. Hey, it could be a cheap little plastic thing. They clearly are here. Okay, keep things sequential.
All I'll say is, royalties please.
Indeed. So, Team RWBY sees all of the little Weisses run out, which, by the way, they are referred to in the credits as Silly Weiss.
Yeah,
love it.
But you can also refer to them as Tiny Weiss, Mini Weiss, Kid Weiss.
Yeah, Tiny Weiss, Mini Weiss, Small Weiss. They're all... You could even go, if you want to call them chibi Weisses, you could do that too, if you so inclined. Not the same one, but you can get the impression across. Team RWBY sees them run across, and they're like, yo, is that Weiss as a little girl? Slightly disappointed, none of them comment on how adorable she is, because she very much is, but I digress. The Weiss, basically, Weiss has bottled up all of her, what she determines as childish thoughts, feelings, and memories, or not memories, but emotions. And while some of them like wanting to eat sweets and, have fun at carnival and whatnot is a little childish, the fact that some of them say, that, at Paramount 2, she wants her family to notice her and she wants to be able to play with her friends, that's significantly less childish and more depressing.
Yeah, these Weisses, they're both so goddamn cute, but depressing when you really think about what they're saying.
RWBY, for her part, seems to take notice of the fact on the implications of the mini Weisses and seems a little bit distraught about it, so that's good.
Yeah.
However, let's all go ahead and try to not dwell on that too much, because the Weisses are running across themselves a big old army of robots. And you might think, oh no, the tiny Weisses, whatever will they do? Psych! They've got crazy-ass magic powers! And their little toy Merit Masters, when they slap someone upside the face with them, they get all giddy and they start chanting the same things that the mini Weisses want, and they just stop fighting, and
It's so
they're
good.
adorable! I love it!
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
it so
my
much.
favorite part of this. I was so looking forward to this when I just saw this in sub.
Yes.
Um,
but basically they disarm Grumpy Klein. They're able to run around and just kind of slap around all of these different mechs. And okay, this is funny for two reasons. I want to point out the first one. Basically, one of the mini Weisses leaps like 14 feet in the air, does a pirouette and a somersault on the way, while slapping a Jacques statue. That alone is incredibly hilarious and adorable for me. However, to give you a moment to talk during this.
So this Jacques statue, it does a little pose and goes, I want my family to notice me!
Which is a great way of delivering that line, which would otherwise be depressing coming out of Weiss, in a comedic way.
And oh my god, like, okay, so I think in the sub, the line is, I want to have fun talking with my mommy and daddy.
Also sad.
I think that's it, but the moment I saw that, I was just like, I need to hear the dub of this moment.
Yep.
I need to hear that in dub.
And it was pretty swell, let's not lie. That's Lord Beerus over there. And whoa! Hang on a second, what was that? I do believe I just heard an interesting noise. What could this noise be? It appears I have a bit of a delivery. And what is in this delivery? It happens to be some note cards. Now, what could these note cards possibly be? Ah! Information from a good friend by the name of Nightstar. Fascinating.
Oh, this is where you're getting at it.
Let's see. What could these possibly be? Oh, I know what these are. They are the top 10 jokes about the silly Weiss-splosion.
Oh boy.
Are you prepared for some of these jokes that we have ourselves prepared for? Well, I don't really care, because I'm going to tell you all of them right here, right now. Number 10. When the weather forecast said there'd be a 90% chance of a snowstorm, this is honestly the last thing I expected. Number 9. This is what happens when someone gets their Dairy Queen delivery order wrong and accidentally orders a bunch of ice cream clones instead. Number 8. Sure, it's all fun and games until about 15 of them realize they can topple over a bus. Number 7. Welcome to the first annual Shini Dust Company Weissathlon. It's like Spain's running of the bulls, except instead of trying not to get shanked by raging bulls, the goal is to not get diabetes from all the cuteness. Number 6. Aw, look! I think that one's hopping in the blood of their enemies like a rainy day puddle. Adorable! Number 5. Okay, who's the wise guy that let the original Weiss get fed after midnight? Number 4. All they need now are little matching jackets with frosted mini Weiss printed on the back. Number 3. The March of Anarchy comes not with torches and the pain cries of the oppressed, but apparently with many tiny giggles and plastic toy swords. Number 2. They're moving in herds. They do move in herds. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, the number 1 joke that could be made about the silly Weiss-splosion is...
If the wall is breached, Helm's Deep will fall.
Even if it is breached, it would take a number beyond reckoning, thousands, to storm the keep.
Tens of thousands.
But, my lord, there is no such force.
A new power is rising. Its victory is at hand.
land will be stained with the blood of Rohan! Leave none alive! To war!
There will be no dawn for men.
Oh my god. Oh.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the top 10 jokes about the Silly White Explosion.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
This discussion is going to get copyrighted, but I don't care.
It's gonna be phenomenally worth it, my guy!
Yeah.
Thank you, Nightstar. This was amazing.
Oh, thank you so much for that, nice stuff.
Moving right along.
Everyone watching, put in the comments just how great Nightstar is for that.
I swear, I better see at least somebody say it. I'll get angry. I swear it. Regardless. Moving right along. Jean tries to show off the well, I'm gonna call it the Yang relic. Hopefully that makes decent enough shorthand.
Yeah, know what? Yeah, that works.
Right. Okay. So, what was originally, you know, it was some good-natured merriment of the Tiny Weisses, just causing themselves, you know, a little bit of fun messing with all of these here robots. They even inspire the rest of the silly Juniper team to, you know, fight for their freedom, which lets them, you know, talk. Not a whole lot more, but hey, you know, it's a little bit better. And it all works out pretty well, you know. So Team Juniper and the Silly Weisses, they all do battle, and it goes well for a little while.
I kind of want to.
But
I kind of want to call out a particular shot.
please do.
It's kind of depressing in a way, though. When
Oh
you
boy,
view
I'm
it from
looking
this
forward to it.
context.
Which one is it? All right, what is it?
So it's when RWBY is telling Dream Ren and Dream Nora to fight to be free, and they start getting
Yes.
riled up for it, and they do that little cheer, the four of them.
Yeah.
Is that Team Ranger shadowing?
I mean, no, but I can easily see how you would think that.
And that was only in my head because, like, when I was just watching the sub, someone posted that.
Yeah. It also definitely kind of marginally helps with the fact that, well, interestingly, it seems that, you know, Dream, Ren, and Nora seem all in on this idea, but Dream Pyrrha seems to have reservations about the whole thing.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, and as it stands at this exact moment in time, I have absolutely no understanding why that is. I'm assuming we'll get more information about that over time. But we don't quite have time for that, you see, because Shadow Weiss has arrived, and for some reason she flipped Grumpy Klein Robot like an omelet. I'm not 100% sure why she did that.
I mean, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, but regardless. Once again, everything just kind of... the various, the Whitleys, the Kleins, the everythings, all just kind of leading her down the path to have to go up against her friends, and it does me a big sad, even if she does stand on a spire in high heels like she's freaking Cyber 6 and it's awesome and badass as hell, but I can't enjoy it properly
I do
because
love
the
that
context
shot.
is so depressing.
I do love that shot.
It's fantastic! God! Cooler than Batman!
Literally,
Huh.
because
Yes.
Ice
Yes,
Queen.
Yes, I see what you did. Yeah. Anywho, Team RWBY, they watched a fair bit of that, but they decided this isn't really quite part of the plan. We kind of need to move on in our own way while they take care of things down there.
Oh yeah, that's all just meant to be the distraction.
Yes, it's a big old distraction. I don't think that they were really quite ready or anticipated being able to summon forth an army of tiny, adorable Weisses to their beck and call for this particular endeavor. But
Nah.
it's a nice little thing that, you know, it's a surprise bonus to the whole thing, I feel.
And
'Cause
speaking
I
of
guess
speaking of
yes?
sorry, speaking of bonuses, making me miss Arcos all the more by Dream Pura giving Jean that little hanky.
Oh god, that was cute.
Oh, like
Dude, I'm able to macholy shrug off all of these cute-ass moments to an extent. But no, she just she walked over and gave him a dang hanky. That's cute as hell.
Can I see the universe where those two got to be happy? It'd be cute, okay? That's all I ask.
I get you, man. I get you. It's like they're trying to make us depressed. Also, during this one shot, where you can what?
They're trying to make us depressed. There's all this stuff coming out, like, with Pyrrha and John. And there's that speculation of where the goals are in Volume 9 being connected to the afterlife.
Look, we don't really need to think about that right now, because I want to talk about something much more adorable and nice before things get sad.
You know, yeah, let's just leave that there.
Starting at about 1841 on the timeline, there's a swooping shot of John and Pyrrha looking at the robots that are just kind of freaking out and whatnot. And you know, it's funny enough to see Ren and Nora in the background just kind of waving their arms around.
I know what you're thinking about.
But just in front of them is one of the mini Weisses, just kind of balancing on one leg while another one looks really impressed that she's doing that. And I don't know why. I mean, okay, I do know why. It's because it's Weiss. But I get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
Yeah, no, that's
also,
cute. And then there's just this robot skipping. I want to go outside.
The robots start skipping, yes. And all of the little Weisses continue to run around, and it's very cute. But there appears to be something sinister. There seems to be a little bit of something sinister brewing here.
Okay, so I want to call back to our episode 4 discussion.
Sure.
And how I mentioned RWBY's in Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's a giant silly Weiss.
Multiple.
Yeah.
At least 5 giant silly Weisses, at which I have started taking to calling the Council. They will decide your fate. Now.
Oh, sorry, I just got to the point when Jean grabs Dream Pyrrha's hand and tries to get her out of there.
Yes. Look, there's a fondness there, even at that stage in their relationship, and it's depressing. Sigh. But I know what you're thinking! Giant small Weiss! Not only is that a contradiction, that seems a bit dangerous. A bit of a hairy situation, you might say. Surely you don't find these adorable now, do you, Max the Few Trades? Wrong! I very much do! Look how big they are! It's so cute! They just want to be pampered. This is not a crime. They have done nothing wrong this day.
I kind of want to put this in the actual video. Just, I remember when I was watching the sub of this, I'm just like, oh my god, yeah, no, that's Attack on Titan vibes.
Yeah, pretty much. Look, I can't deny it. The architecture of the area around them. Yeah, I get it.
And just like the shot of like the giant ones just like walking around and just the buildings being small.
Yeah, it almost feels like it was on purpose at that point.
Yeah, and I gotta say shout out to AG Nonsuch for this.
Go ahead and show it. You clearly love the picture enough. Go ahead.
Because, like, she went and remade the poster for the, like, first Attack on Titan season. It was just, over the wall is just giant tiny Weiss. And then it's just like, Blake.
To continue a perhaps ill-advised joke that I still find fondness in regardless. If that's how the world ends, I accept it. This is an acceptable Armageddon to me.
By the way, if anyone's curious, just like, well, like, a RWBY thing in Attack on Titan, why is it Blake and not Ruby? I can't imagine why Blake would be tied to Attack on Titan in any regard.
If you have to ask, you haven't been paying any attention. Anyway, it appears as if Dream, Nora, and Ren might have gotten themselves ensnared in some, I don't know, some crazy vines. I'm not sure what else to call them.
God, that's creepy.
It very much is, and they kind of zombie lurch their way on over. It's a whole thing. But then, strangely enough, a Weissglyph seems to protect John and Pyrrha and make everything go kablooey. Now, for a brief moment, I thought they were straight up annihilated by that. It was a big enough kaboom for it. But no, we see them crumpled over and unconscious later. Not too much longer. And so, they're probably fine.
No, they're
That
fine.
being said, Shadow Weiss has arrived. And she is resolved.
Yeah, okay. So, I mentioned earlier like off camera, how I was thinking something Death Battle related from this episode.
Right.
And I decided to look something up for Negative Weiss to see if it was a thing. It is not. So,
It is not,
okay.
sadly. Although, what we are about to bear witness to is still fairly impressive.
Alright, so we've seen how big this area inside that giant wall is. Like, this city. Okay. Now,
Yes.
this shot right here of Shadow Weiss's beam going straight up, all these clouds, like, form over this. Now, if anyone watches Death Battle,
Clouds are serious business.
yeah, moving and creating them takes a lot of energy. And considering how big, like, this kingdom is, and how big these clouds are,
And how casually she does it.
I need someone to calc this.
Somebody better than math than me, do it.
Like,
Which isn't saying a lot, I'm bad at math. But you can do it, somebody out there, I believe in you. Yes, obviously, it obviously doesn't scale to our real world Weiss. It's not something she could do. Something I would like to know for reasons.
yeah, I want to know this for reasons too. Also, depending on view, might be feasible in some way. We'll get to that though.
Regardless, as you might be possibly pondering what it is that Weiss is doing when she summons the power of Grayskull here, she is not in fact transforming into She-Ra. No. She's actually summoning forth and powering up...
Wait.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be Schneera?
I'll let you have that one.
Sorry, it's just the silence, and I was just making this like big grin. Like
was the
open mouth,
intended
like
effect. That's the intended effect. Anyway, quote-unquote, Schneera summons forth a big honkin' pillar of energy, of which to summon and power up the Big Nicholas, which is a gargantuan multi-armed mech.
I won't lie, this also adds to the Attack on Titan vibes.
Look, are you just gonna... anytime a giant is near a rustic village, is that just immediately, Attack on Titan theme song playing in your head in the background? Is that just how this works?
Well, also because, okay, spoiler alert for, like, the rest of the last season. This just straight up reminded me of Aaron's founding Titan form.
Ah, alright then, fair enough.
I mean, kind of, like, there are a lot of differences, it's just a vibe I got, because I'm weird.
That's fair. Hey, get your references where you can. Anyway, Big Nicholas has a very big hand, and it does a big punch. Luckily, they get out of the way. But as the episode ends with Weiss ominously not exactly, looking too friendly, the situation looks a wee bit dire.
Just a tad.
In the name of Big Nicholas and the esteemed Schnee family, everyone's gonna be receiving themselves some judgment. Oh dear.
And I would just like to point out, this is the first episode when they're back in Weiss's dream.
Yeah. We still have the rest of the series.
Yep.
Barring the last one. But yeah. So, things gonna go down, and it's gonna be a thing. Now, listen. You might be wondering, how do I feel about this episode? Look, biases aside, I think this is a very solid episode. I enjoyed it greatly. I think it established a lot of important aspects, and it moved the plot along just enough. It didn't feel like it was rushing or meandering. It sounded pretty good. The army of the Tiny Weisses definitely overloaded it into an 11 out of 10. Just throwing that out there. They basically turned this 9 into an 11 and broke the scale. as you would expect. And I suppose there's one last thing I could bring up about the Silly Weisses that we had not before.
Their voice actor?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is not Kara. It is actually Elizabeth Maxwell, who is the voice of Winter. Now, there are a wide amount of possible reasons as to why this is the case. I can only theorize, obviously, but it could just be as simple as, you know, Liz was just doing the voice a little bit better.
Yeah, could be that.
Maybe Kara couldn't convincingly pull off a little girl version of her character, or maybe she didn't want to, or any number of things, really.
Yeah. I would at least like to think that Kara was, at the very bare minimum, offered.
I very much like to assume as such, and I will always assume as such, unless proven otherwise, and hopefully I never will be. It's like, give it a shot. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, we've got somebody who probably can. And they did, and wouldn't you know it, 'twas adorable!
I also find it funny that Weiss's older sister voices the younger version of her little sister.
Hey, Elizabeth Maxwell's a very talented voice actress.
Oh, she is, and she's in everything.
Yeah, she is. Look, just very briefly, I mean, she's a gal who can play Winter Schnee, Caulifla in Dragon Ball, and Midnight in My Hero Academia.
There's also Abosa in Breath of the Wild, Ymir in Attack on Titan.
Now, just those five alone. If you know those characters, you know those are vastly different characters in just about every conceivable facet.
And there's
she,
so much more.
Yeah, no, that's the tip top of the iceberg on that one. Point is, respect.
She's also a lovely lady.
Absolutely.
I've met her at least twice.
Wow, that's delightful. Wasn't one of those times like by pure chance?
Yeah, RTX. I was just like walking past, well... Anyway, I met up with somebody I knew, and I'm just like, hey, so... Am I crazy? Or is that Elizabeth Maxwell next to us?
And wouldn't you know it, it was.
Yep.
Ain't that pretty swell?
That was awesome.
It was. And to end this particularly fantastic episode here, we get the illustration at the end, which is the Weissplosion! They're so cute! I want this as a wallpaper for my computer. It's so cute, I love it. I'm gonna print. Look, I'll bite the bullet and say a name wrong. It's either Range or Rogne. I'm sorry, but Murata, you do good work. I like your style. I like the thing you decided to draw. You have my approval. So, I've said a lot. What do you think?
Oh, I love this episode.
That's good.
Like,
I was kind of hoping, because it would be awkward if you didn't at this point.
Yeah, the tiny Weisses are so goddamn cute, and
Happy.
when I saw those, I was just like, oh my god, that like this alone is just gonna make this whole thing worth it for Max.
It very much is. I'm not gonna lie. Look, thanks in part to, like, one part thanks to Nightstar helping me see the symbolism of the situation a whole lot more in order to make the plot and the psychology of the whole thing much less black and white. Pun half intended on that one. It helped me understand and appreciate what they're trying to go for with the story a whole lot more. And now with another part of just, you know, pure concentrated cuteness, the likes of which I've never bore witness to before in my entire existence. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Ice Queendom is pretty freaking great.
And we're not even done.
Yeah, no, we still got a lot more to go, which is unfortunate because that means we haven't reached the lowest point for the team yet. Not quite looking forward to that, but I can look forward to them eventually rising up and meeting the challenge.
Yeah, there's something coming up.
Yeah, you keep making me very worried every time you bring that up.
It's both awesome and yet, like, I don't know, like it's a weird me thing. Like,
okay,
I'm conflicted. I both like and don't like it at the same time. It's weird.
All right, spoil one tiny aspect about it. What character does this involve?
Blake.
Okay, I will remember that. What could he mean? Well, either you watch the subs and know yourself, or you'll find out later with us, I guess. Me specifically.
Okay, it first shows up in episode 9.
And we're on episode 7. Why, that's rather close.
And is it? Yeah, it's 9. It's 9 when it first.
Dear God!
Yeah, when it first appears.
All right, that's a little foreboding. Although, in 2 weeks, not only will Arrowfell already be out,
Oh yeah.
I'll probably have already beaten it, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm pretty much just gonna drop everything to play the hell out of it.
Same.
Any ding
Like,
ding ding.
I'm just gonna be like, F my job, F Let's Discuss Death Battle, I'm just gonna be playing that game.
Look, no, this is my life now.
Okay, no, in all seriousness, yeah, I will still go to my job, I will still do the podcast. It's a joke!
Obviously. He's just gonna play it while he does it. Like a good employee. Anywho.
Yeah, I was also just thinking about this. Like,
Yes.
because we've talked, like, off camera, could you imagine the multiverse where just, like, say, our favorite characters were, like, switched or something?
Right.
I'm kind of curious, just, like, I'm trying to imagine Ice Queendom if, like, if it was, like, the opposite role, like, say this is Blake's dream they were going into and we just saw an army of tiny Blakes.
I would like to imagine perhaps not as embarrassedly hype about it as I was, but you would still be pretty up there.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know. I feel like I'm slightly more embarrassing about my affection towards a fictional character than you are. Not by a ton, but by enough. That's always been my kind of impression on the whole thing.
I mean, you say that, I said waifu for lifeu to Kerry.
That's pretty damn bold, my guy. I probably would not have had that confidence. So you know what? Touché. We might just both be massive dorks.
Yeah, I mean, I just own it, really.
I mean, at this point, there's no point in trying to not.
Yeah, if anyone gives you grief
cool.
for just like, oh, you like this fictional character, just like, and what of it?
Yeah, what up, yo? Look, at this point, I ain't got no reason to hide.
Yeah. I mean, there are limits, like, yeah, we will judge a person for it, obviously.
We don't get weird about it.
Yeah, no.
We're still rationally minded human beings who aren't creepy weirdos.
Yeah.
For the most part. Just, anyway. So, yeah. Really loved this video, and, but okay. I meant I loved this episode, but this video, I'm also pretty fond of. I feel like we had ourselves a pretty good time.
Yeah, definitely.
And, with that, wouldn't you know it, there'll be another one next week. I imagine some bad stuff's probably gonna go down, but, maybe it'll be exciting. So, there you go. It'll balance out.
Yeah, the next episode is titled Where You Belong.
I don't like the implications.
No, you shouldn't.
I can only figure out like one possibility there, and it's not a good one. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
She was so tiny!